The Christian Council pledging to assist in the Shantytown transition for hundreds of residents. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news tonight, Bahamas Christian Council Vice President Archdeacon James Palacios is describing the demolition of shantytowns as a painful experience for residents who are forced to leave the homes they've lived in for so many years. And while the Christian Council is ready to help those who will be displaced, as DeAndre Williamson tells us tonight, some shantytown residents are finding relocation a challenge.
The days are winding down for Haitians to vacate their shantytowns, and many are still wondering where they'll go.
I don't find I was full live because I can't do nothing because I can't move.
It was like a little too soon. They should have given us a little notice, like from the beginning of the year.
The problem is there's more kids in the backyard than adults in the backyard. And majority of adults, they ain't financially fit. I'm playing them trying to find somewhere, and some of them ain't finding nowhere, and then probably through the fact that certain people probably ain't willing to rent certain people.
I'm not working. Every month, insurance give me something. I go, that's all I live.
The Bahamas Christian Council plans to partner with the League of Haitian Pastors to help accommodate displaced residents. So far, the League has received financial support from the private sector.
That hasn't been formally established, but that would definitely be the route that we would choose to take. Similar to what you might do, say, in a natural disaster. You have to have a proper coordination of the effort so that you get the best bang for the buck and the money goes in areas where it is most needed.
Shantytowns like this one here will eventually be demolished, and residents have until August 10th to leave this property. Christian Council Vice President Archdeacon James Palacios says it's a painful experience for residents to watch their homes be bulldozed, particularly after spending most of their lives there.
They have invested heavily in the buildings and in the communities themselves. It is heart-wrenching, to say the least, for many of us who are not a part of those communities. So we can only imagine what it must be for the people who live there. The dislocation is tremendous and, of course, traumatic.
Overall, he believes the government is working extensively to eradicate shantytowns across the country.
I commend the government for this widespread consultation, whereby the various occupants have been duly notified about the pending action to demolish the shantytowns. The building code and other laws of the Bahamas must be upheld by one and all.
So, should the government help residents find housing?
The government's position is no, because the government is cash-strapped, and it's a bad political move.
However, Archdeacon James Palacios urges Bahamians to help residents readjust to the financial and social realities of a new life and a new location. For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson. The government has already made its plan for the future of shantytowns, but Haitians want the government to consider their desire to become owners of the properties after demolition.
If they can sell them for 20 years, then we should be the first one to get that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but honestly,
if y'all get rid of the illegals, yeah, then give us the preference to purchase them. Yeah, down payment plan. Yeah, we get builders. We could do all that.
Haitian Pastors League President Reverend Jean-Paul Charles agrees with shantytown residents and says if Haitians are not able to purchase the land, he hopes the government will help the situation.
I think the government not only should do that, I think they will try to do something. Even they don't give them 100%, preference. But I think the government would want to, would work with them to make sure they rebuild to the way the society will approve.
Reverend Charles says it's already a painful process that Haitians must endure, but he asks the government to reconsider demolishing homes that are near building code standards.
But if something the Ministry of Labor can help them not to demolish that, if they can, tell them to upgrade or send an engineer to upgrade that house, and we even talk to the Ministry of Labor to see if they would accept that. But it's we don't have a good answer about that.
Shantytown Action Task Force Chairman and Minister of Labor Senator Dion Folks has this response for residents.
There's no possibility legally that is possible, that we can lease or convey any part of those lands to any residents in those communities. That's absolutely impossible. The Prime Minister stated recently at the opening of the housing development that the government intends to develop those lands and to make them all housing developments and to make those lots available to Bahamians to construct homes.
Residents have until August 10th to leave, but some are still saying the notice is too soon.
Well, what I could say, on a 6 month will be good. They're going. I speak to the whole village, they're going. But they need some time.
For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
The number of residents living in shanty towns throughout New Providence is dwindling. Today is the August 10th deadline for eviction based on a government order, and while some residents are gone, there are others who are still in search of places to live. DeAndre Williamson visited a shanty town, and residents gave her this update on what was supposed to be moving day.
The deadline for residents to leave shanty towns is here, though a court injunction means the government is barred from expelling residents pending the outcome of a hearing. While many homes in this shanty town off Island Drive sit empty, Beatrice Hall is still packing.
I could try see if I could go time is Sunday or Monday. I could try see if I could still move because I don't know when they come in. They say they're supposed to come Saturday. I don't know when they come in. Then they come with the truck. I won't be here when they push me down and I got to look bad trying to get this out the house and take out that. It's very look bad. It will look bad on me. You see what I mean? It ain't look good. So whatever you could do, you could try. You got to try, do something for yourself. And just be, got to move up. Can't stay down.
The family who occupied this home here in the shantytown off Island Drive moved out about 2 weeks ago, and they are now living in an apartment off Carmichael Road. Ahead of the court action, the Shantytown Commission was in the process of assisting residents who were finding it difficult to secure new housing. This resident, named Tony, is among them.
I got 2 months on, so I tried to get a house. Somebody, I was paid. Someone else get their money back, so I can't pay one myself.
Earlier this month, Shantytown Action Task Force Chairman Senator Dion Folks announced that 2 shantytowns won't be demolished. One is on All Saints Way off Golden Isles Road, and the other is in Bedrock off Bacardi Road. The homes in these areas, he says, won't be demolished because they satisfy building codes. Government plans to transform shantytowns into affordable housing communities for Bahamians with homes that meet the country's building code. Overall, Hall says while she looks forward to moving like other shantytown residents, she will miss the community she lived in for more than 30 years.
I enjoy myself by living here and being here for so long like that on the property, but I know it's hard and how we live in, it's very poor, but I try my best.
For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.